On today's episode, we have a husband who is in love with another woman from another country, a mother-in-law who's embarrassed of their bilingual grandkid, OP's social media account was discovered by their family, and a doozy of a story of how OP met her husband. For patrons, we have a painting that created an awkward moment. So head on over to patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network to hear that bonus story, ad-free episodes, and additional content. Reddit on Wiki starts right now.
Get therapy.
I don't know how to read.
Get therapy.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? And welcome back to the first Monday episode of Reddit on Wiki of 2024. Right?
Yes.
Is it?
Well, we had the best of episode.
Oh, that's right. But real episode
True
of 2024.
True Monday episode. Yeah.
There you go. I'm your host for today. It is I, your punny Pinoy John. And as usual, I am joined by the most handsomest boys in the world. We got Josh. We got Sean. Say hi, fellas.
Hello.
Hi, fellas.
Wow.
That is such a dad joke. I am proud of you. All right. Well, did you guys have fun over New Year's and Christmas break? I don't know if we talked about that yet.
Yeah, I had a good Christmas. Too much food. Way too much food.
Best food you ate?
I mean, it was mostly turkey and stuff. But,
Okay.
So all of that. And then Sienna and I have been on a bit of a health kick for the last few days.
Ooh.
Trying to start our, resolution early while we got the week off. So
Nice.
smoothies and salads and wraps all week.
Okay. By you, Sean. Anything fun, my guy?
Could not be me.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I got sick. I explained it a little bit on Friday. I was a little bit sick during Christmas weekend, but feeling better, ready for, New Year's hasn't happened, but I'm manifesting that it was a fun one. And I didn't get a hangover.
Well, that's definitely not going to happen.
Oh, shit. Well, I celebrated my 10 years with Juliet.
Yeah.
Past. So like we had a lovely dinner and it was so good. Can't wait to have that again someday. But we had omakase, like a Japanese omakase of different cuts of meat. And of course, Sean is gonna judge me for this, but yes, we did cap it off with A5 Wagyu in the end, and it was not as good as the one in New York,
anybody
but
for A5
yeah, I was gonna
Wagyu.
say,
pretty good.
Sean is
I fucking
very
love A5 Wagyu. What are you talking about?
Wagyu.
Very pro Wagyu.
Oh, it was so good. Ate too much, but it's all good. No health kick, but hey, we're happy. We have more life, more love. So
Hell yeah.
10 years. Holy shit. But
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, congrats,
thank you.
brother.
Thank you. I am spoiled by her. But anyways, let's get on to
Who
our
paid for dinner?
Of course she did. Because I got dinner next. Because again,
Burger
we
King, baby.
back-to-back celebration.
Yeah. Let's
no,
go.
I'm taking her to Nobu for her birthday, and my wallet's already hurting. So.
Ooh.
Holy
Nobu,
shit.
Nobu.
But Nobu. Ooh, I'm gonna get that Chilean sea bass. I'm gonna send
I
it
know
straight
you
to
will.
Sean. So just be like, here you go, brother. All right. First story of today. And of course, we're gonna kick it off with one of the goats. And this one is cross-posted by ZMitch8. So shout out ZMitch8.
Go.
A listener.
For sure a listener and a patron, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. 100%.
Yes. And I am gonna step into your toes off the bat, Josh.
Wow, starting the year off breaking rules.
Oh my God.
This is from r/am I wrong?
Oh no.
Okay.
God.
But they didn't ask
Is
the question
nothing
in the end.
sacred anymore?
They didn't ask the question in the end, so I was like, I think I could get away with technicality from this.
My New Year's
But-
resolution is to contain my rage, but you're pushing it right now, John.
White, unadulterated rage. But the title is Husband, 45 male, is in love with a lady, 38 female, in Thailand, and he has left our family home to be with her for 2 months overseas. He says to be patient and he'll choose me or her when he comes back. What can I do to save our marriage?
Why is that? Am I wrong? Why is that in the Am I Wrong
What?
subreddit?
I don't know.
Save it at all.
That's a divorce. That's a divorce.
What are you talking about? Save it.
So much fucking divorce advice this year already.
Well, the stories we get are crazy. So
They're
they
warranted.
They merit it.
We're
They
not just
merit it.
handing out divorces, guys.
Yeah.
They're earning it.
Leaving you for 2 months to go to Thailand for another woman is divorce.
And then to be like, I'll make a decision when I get back. Like, this is the fucking
Yeah.
Bachelor. Brother, this is real life, man.
This is like Lily and what is it, Scooter from How I Met Your Mother, leaving them on a hook. Pretty
True.
much. All right, so it goes as this. I'm 32 female, completely blindsided, and I'm an emotional wreck as I love him still, and it will be hard to raise kids by myself. My kids, what am I going to do? We have a loving relationship until he completely blindsided me by announcing that he's talking to this lady located in Thailand every day for 6 months, and he's in love with her. She's his soulmate. So right under my nose, that he has been rerouting all of his mail to a box located in a UPS store.
What?
He booked the plane. It's wild. He's already planning to leave her
This is
ass, bro.
so
Yeah.
premeditated.
He booked a plane ticket and 5-star hotels in Thailand and has left our family to be with her for 2 months. I found out 3 weeks prior to him leaving from a text message from travel website on his phone and confronted him. Then he told me everything. For 3 weeks, I tried everything to save our marriage. I begged him to stay. I told him it's dangerous and give us a chance to work on our marriage. Whatever it is that I have done, I can fix. Just give us a chance. I got marriage counselors on Zoom. I even told him I am willing to pay him $3,000 to cover the plane ticket if he cancels or at least postpone it.
What?
Yo.
Fuck that.
Save that $3,000 and put it towards a divorce lawyer.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
insane.
This is so that it gives us precious time to fix whatever could be wrong with our marriage. He walked out. He said he loves me, but is not in love with me like his is with her. Like he is with her, sorry. He says to be patient, and when he returns, he'll then choose between me or her.
I'd be like, bro, I am not going to be here.
Yeah, there's not going to
No.
be a
Come back.
choice to make, brother.
No fucking choice.
Yeah. The balls to be like, oh, both these women love me enough that they're going to stick around for 2 months for me to decide.
Right?
It's fucking crazy.
I am 100% in belief that he didn't tell the girl in Thailand that he's a married man with
Oh,
kids.
100%. 100%.
He seems like the type of guy.
Yeah.
Or he's just trying to get citizenship and does not care really one way or the other.
Maybe.
That's some nice TLC.
To
That's
be
what I'm
fair,
saying.
Pick
Some
it up.
90 day.
yeah, I'm not blaming her at all because we have no idea.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Like what she, well, like she could be, it could be that, could be she just wants someone and he's there. Who knows? I have no idea what her perspective on this is.
No matter what, he's fucking trash.
No,
Yes.
yeah.
It's so unfair. It feels like walking up a mountain trying to reason with someone when their heart isn't with you. So I want hope. Is there any hope for our marriage, and what can I do to save our marriage? None. Has anyone been able to save their marriage after the husband left? He said he will choose between me or her when he comes back, so there's still hope. Too long didn't read. Husband is in love with a lady in Thailand, and he has left our family home. Oh, by the way, they had 2 children, they're about 10 each, to be with her for 2 months overseas. He says to be patient and he'll choose me or her when he comes back. Is there any hope for our marriage, and what can I do to save our marriage?
I think any partner leaving for 2 months without a good reason, like work or, family emergency, over, but also like to leave you for another woman, double over. Like that's just why try and save that if he's not even trying to save it. He's willingly going off to be with another woman for 2 months. For me, it's over. Why even bother trying to save that? Like, yeah, it'll be tough for you with the kids, but take him to court, get like as much
Milk
money
it.
as you can, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
find someone who brings you something to the relationship, like benefits your life rather than takes from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little painful at the beginning, but in the end, it's better for your kids to have you 100% taking care of them rather than a father who has 1 foot out the door. all the time. So yeah, I mean, I feel really bad because you have not asked for this at all, and you have tried to keep this marriage together. But if only one of you is trying to keep it together, there's no point in trying.
Agreed. Oh, one comment, and before Sean makes a comment about it, this one is from one of our one of our people in subreddit. Spotty Bell commented, "Nah, they were 35 and 22 when they had kids. How old were
Ooh.
they when they met? High school girl and a 30-year-old." So Sean
I didn't
rule?
even put that together.
Wait, I didn't
I'm
even
so-
see their fucking ages. What?
So he was 45 and she was 32 female, and their kids are about 10 years old. So
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I was baffled by the whole story. I glossed over that entirely.
Sean rule.
Holy shit. I wonder how old the Thai girl is. Who fucking knows?
The Thai girl is 38 female.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything he says.
Go off, brother. I know you have a lot to say.
Okay.
About it.
I was already upset before the fucking grooming, because they had kids at 22 and 35. Who knows how long they'd been dating prior to that? This is fucking what is it called? Stockholm syndrome. I mean, of course, not a doctor at all, but this sounds like
I was gonna say.
sounds like Beauty and the Beast. You know what I mean? Like she's been fucking trapped, and this is the only thing she knows for however long. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she's fucking brainwashed. This is so many
Icky.
layers of bad, even before you fucking hit me with the Sean rule thing. Like, what was his end game prior to you finding out through the text that you weren't supposed to see? Was he just gonna fucking vanish for 2 months?
I think he was gonna dip, bro.
Probably. Yeah.
so.
I'd
It's
say yeah.
being so adamant of trying to save it now makes sense because she has probably been brainwashed since,
Like that's
who
all she knows, right?
Yeah.
Which sucks.
So
Also, I will say about the Stockholm syndrome. Some people say we have misused that before, so I don't know if that's actually.
okay.
The proper
Whatever
terminology.
Beauty and the
So-
Beast had, we're like, maybe this
We're
monster
not
isn't
professionals,
so bad.
obviously.
Yeah, obviously not. I'm basing this off a Disney cartoon. But yeah, like that now makes sense why this OP is so adamant about trying to, fix it. Because look, the real answer is don't fix it. Obviously, don't fix it. He planned to vanish for 2 months.
Mhm.
And who even knows if his original plan was to come back after 2 months and then make a decision. Also, you're foolish to think that he's going to make a decision that isn't the Thai woman that he already left you for. You know what I mean?
There's
Yeah.
still that 50-50 chance he doesn't pick you.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
he
would just
changed his mailing address already. He's
Yeah.
gonna
yeah,
leave you.
everything is just so premeditated. Like he's been like planning some evil plan 10 steps ahead. Divorce, absolutely fucking
Mhm.
divorce. And then, you're worried about raising the kids. Milk that man for his money. Milk it for all his dude, child support. If he has enough to go to fucking Thailand for 2 months, he has enough to pay child support.
Yeah.
So fucking, I would fucking, yeah. Don't even try to fix it. Let him think like, oh, I'll be there in 2 months. Leave. As soon as he's on that plane, fucking get the fuck out of there. Or
Save the
stay.
$3,000, like I said.
Yeah.
And
Or
take
stay
that
and
ass
take
to
that
a
house
fucking
for
divorce.
yourself.
Yeah.
True. Lock the door.
Yeah,
Yes.
change the
Locks.
locks.
Another person from our subreddit commented, which kind of pretty much supports what you said, Sean, like about how it's pretty much like she's been trapped there whole time. One of her things, the commenter said, quote, "Whatever it is I have done," from whatever like the OP said. And they put, she actually thinks it's her fault that he's cowardly, cheating, low life family deserter. I hope she wakes up and starts a better life for herself soon without that disrespectful loser. And that's
Yeah.
from Resilient Ren 2977, by the way, which encapsulates everything that you said, Sean. and
Yeah.
Josh.
It sucks that she's blaming herself because
Yes.
it's not her fault. Like it's
no.
At all.
no matter how bad your marriage is, that's not the way to go about it. There's divorce, there's therapy, which you have tried to present to him, and well, not divorce, but the therapy part, and he's just rejected it all. So it's 100% not on you, OP, and you need to realize that and leave and find someone who brings something to your life.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're moving on to the next story. And that one made us kind of sad. That was upsetting. This one will probably piss us off. So
That one pissed me off. I don't know. It didn't make me sad.
oh, well, then this will piss you off too, then, Josh. And this one is
I'm so
cross
mad.
posted.
My resolution.
White rage. This one is cross posted by Flying Midscore Money, Midscore Honey, cross posted from r/just-no-mill. The title is Mother-in-law said our son shouldn't speak Spanish in front of other people because it's embarrassing for her.
Oh.
There goes Sean's fucking reaction.
Yeah, that is racist. I don't know what else to say to that.
Ooh, yeah.
If your husband isn't immediately like, Mom, get the fuck out of here, you fucking piece of shit, then,
Well,
I'd be
Unless
going
she is
off.
Spanish. Unless she is Spanish and like, you are butchering this language.
There could be that.
well, let's get the story started then. They put, I made this account just for this. I'm Mexican, but have lived in the US basically my entire life. My family moved here when I was a year old. I speak Spanish too. My parents always talk to us in Spanish at home, and I'm proud of my heritage, as you should. My husband is American. All of his family is. My nationality had never been a
Just say white.
My nationality had never been a problem for them. And they put, or that's what I thought. Before even getting married, I told my husband how I would love my kids to speak Spanish and be close to my family's culture.
Plus, like, Spanish is pretty big in some parts in America, so it's handy to have
yes.
as well. So
Oh my
you're
gosh,
setting your kid up
yes.
for success.
Not
knowing that.
only just parts of America, like work in general
Right.
too, and
Yeah.
and other parts of the world who's like, you know, that speaks a lot of Spanish. And
Yeah, it just
I
opens your
wish I
kids
knew
up to so
Spanish.
many more opportunities,
Mhm.
knowing more than one language.
absolutely.
As Sean and I clearly struggle with, just knowing one language.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew more. When I got pregnant, I addressed this again, and he agreed. Said it was important for our baby to know where he comes from, both sides. We have a 5-year-old, and I'm 6 months pregnant. I speak to my son in Spanish, and that's the language he uses when I'm talking to my part of my family. My mom sings to him and tells him stories in Spanish, and he loves it. He speaks English when talking to husband's family. Again, there has never been a problem until now. We were at her house for Christmas Eve dinner. Everything was normal until our son approached to me saying he was thirsty, and he asked for a glass of water in Spanish, and I took him to the kitchen. I noticed mother-in-law following us, and I guess DH is dear husband, right?
Yeah, I think so.
DH?
Yeah. DH. Yeah.
Okay. I guess dear husband also noticed because he followed her. She asked, "What was that boy speaking?" Not really
Oh.
understanding her question. I explained he wanted water. She proceeded to say, "But was it Spanish?" I was very confused at this point, and my husband was just staring. So I just said, "Yeah, Spanish." He should have felt my gaze going through his soul because until that moment, my husband reacted with, "Is there a problem?" Mother-in-law said that indeed there was a problem. Said our kid shouldn't speak that language in front of other people
Jesus.
because it is embarrassing. I felt so very small in that moment. Said she never thought we would teach him and that never crossed her mind I speak more than a few words in Spanish because I don't look Mexican.
oh,
This is so racist.
This is some racist ass shit right here. Holy.
Oh
I mean,
my
at
god.
the wedding,
Yeah. How do you
Like-
not
But you're
have-
half of the family.
you don't
they've
like.
been
Do
married
you
for
never
how many
talk?
years?
I guess maybe you never noticed like the other half of the wedding was speaking Spanish.
Up no, they're playing La Chona on the reception, and I'll be vibing to the fuck out of the La Chona. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was so mad, but also felt like crying so hard, and the feeling intensified because my husband didn't say anything.
Oh.
Worst thing is that our son was still there and heard all of this bullshit. He felt so ashamed that he started to silently cry. I'm crying as I write this because I am so mad. I can't explain. I've been discriminated before, but this feels so different. I took our son to an empty room and we are locked here. Of course, he doesn't want to go out either. He feels like he did something wrong when he was only asking for water. I just want to get the hell out of here, back home or to my parents' house. But we came in only one car and my husband has the keys. And they put an edit. Comments are locked. I'm going out of the room from time to time. And I don't think my husband believes we are really going. And that was the story.
What a shitty husband.
Yeah.
You fucking, the kid, the eldest kid is 5. You've known this before y'all got married. She reiterated again while she was pregnant. And then she also just, the kid knows Spanish, speaks Spanish all the time in front of you. You couldn't fucking defend your child and wife against your racist mother.
Yeah.
Like, that should be easy. That should be easy to do. Just be like, yes, it's not embarrassing. It actually is going to help his future immensely. And also
it's embarrassing for you, mother-in-law, or
insanely
mother.
racist.
You're
that
fucking
you would
racist.
say that
Yeah.
in front of my child, your grandson. So it would be just so easy to just do the right thing, but instead, he's a little bitch and fucking stay quiet.
Mhm.
Didn't do anything. Also, the
Yeah.
fact that she had enough time to lock the kid in this room with her, make a throwaway Reddit account, write this Reddit post without the husband coming back to check on like where they're at and to check on
Yeah.
them is fucking crazy. Insane. So not only did you fucking act like a bitch in front of your entire family and not defend your wife, but you've just doubled down by not even like going after your wife and like trying to
Mhm.
reassure her like, oh, it's, her place, but fuck her. But like, or at least talk to your
Yeah.
fucking son and be like, you shouldn't be embarrassed. You didn't do anything wrong. We're just in
Yeah.
a racist household. We don't want to make a scene. At least be like, okay, like I didn't make a scene, but what happened was objectively terrible. And then fucking immediately dip. But no, you just fucking stayed wherever the fuck you were and didn't do anything. Insane behavior. Not divorce worthy. But
It is for
pretty
me.
fucking close.
No,
to
it
where
is
I'd,
for me, brother.
to where I'd be like, look, you didn't fucking defend me. You saw me cry. You saw your son cry. So I don't know if I could, if this is divorce for me, but it's as close as you can get.
I mean, for me, it's a minimum, like a bunch of couples therapy, and it sounds like your son might need therapy now because that's traumatizing for his own family to be like, half of who you are is embarrassing to us. That's crazy.
Mhm.
For me, it's on the borderline where it's like, if you divorce him, I wouldn't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Like if he wants to make amends at all of this, he's got to call it his mom. He's got to reassure your son. But as to what Sean said, he hasn't made that effort in the hour it took you to post this and go to the room with your son. Like, that's crazy. Awful. I wonder, for me, it sounds like the mom wears a red cap, if you know what I mean. Write those reviews, you fuckers.
Why are they only targeting us? Because shit like this, you fucking asshole. And
Yeah.
speaking of, I know like this ain't a Friday, but like this, our Spanish speaking listeners will appreciate this. But this fucking mom and the husband, pinche pendejos, both of them. They're the worst people ever.
I agree.
I will say that you guys say that it's like borderline divorce ish. Me, I'm going full blown, baby. Because it sounds like this kid doesn't have a back, or the son doesn't have a backbone to stand up to his mom, right? And it sounds like that's where they kind of go to do all like their family gatherings, and it sounds like they kind of live ish like in a close vicinity to them, so the
Mhm.
mom can kind of meddle as much as possible. Not only that, to have that side of the family who's ashamed of your heritage and your culture and demeaning your son for having, like being biracial, being a mixed race. I don't want to be part of that family. That sounds like more trouble than it is like worth. And for the husband to not even stand up for their son, stand up for the wife. I don't want to be with anyone that doesn't have a backbone whatsoever. So I'm fucking full blown divorce on the guy.
That's fair. I mean, listen, if she did, I wouldn't blame her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For me, it's like later to the husband being like, "Hey, that was completely unacceptable. If you do not
If you
like,
do
tell
that shit
your-
again, yeah.
if you don't tell your mother like to fuck off or to like check herself, then this is over." Like, I think the burden of proof, the burden of whether this marriage stays together is on him.
Oh, absolutely.
After like talking to him and being like, "Hey, that was pretty fucked up," and if he doesn't respond exactly how you want him to respond, and setting boundaries with his mother-in-law and telling her to straighten out, then yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think it's over.
I'd fucking move so fast. Be like, I don't want to be near any vicinity of you motherfuckers. But
Yeah,
anyways.
Crazy to
All right,
find
we're
out
gonna cut
after 5 years.
that's
Yes.
where I'm at
Of
Like,
marriage.
how is there?
Like, how do you
no-
hide such blatant racism for 5 years?
Yeah, crazy.
But we're gonna cut to a quick ad break, and then next story. It's a little more lighthearted palate cleanser because the last story is gonna be oh shit. So
Oh, no.
we'll be right
Fantastic.
back, Wikimaniacs. And we're back. All right, let us clean our palate for this story. This one is cross posted by Jazz like _fly _9512. The title is "My Family Found My TikTok Account."
Luckily, mine has not yet.
Dude, my fucking family are always saying like, "Oh yeah, I see you on TikTok all the time. Like, I share your YouTube channel all the time. When there's ads playing, we make sure we don't skip it." I'm like, y'all a fucking goat, man. I
Hell
love
yeah.
that.
My family doesn't know how to use TikTok. Plus, for me, it's more embarrassing because it's just like, I'm the asshole guy. Like, that's all I say in the first 2 seconds of everyone I'm in.
Am I the ass?
So,
Oh, funny story. When we were in Vegas, had one of my closest friends told me a story when he kind of first met his girlfriend and when they kind of started like dating together. And then I guess they were sharing like TikToks and stuff, right? Sharing like just stories and like typical couples just
yeah.
send stories. And one day she sent him a bunch of TikToks from our account. And then he was watching them and he said, "Wait a goddamn minute. This is my fucking friend." And then the girlfriend was just like, "You're fucking lying. Like, there's no way. These guys are pretty popular, right? Like, there's no way you know this guy."
That's
And then
funny.
he was like, "The fuck?" And he showed us like, because we travel a lot together. So he was like, "Look, he's my friend." Like, we
I know
literally
this guy.
hang out. So when we were in Vegas, they were all teasing me the whole time. So
Of
she
course.
made me like record a video saying like hi, like to her, just like, "Hey, like I actually know this person." So
You did a free cameo, John?
I
What the
did.
Fuck.
I did. I'm so sorry.
We'll deduct it from your monthly. Don't worry about it.
I will be reprimanded. How many spanks am I gonna get, Sean?
None. That's the punishment.
That is the punishment.
You fucking asshole. Anyways, I have a TikTok account where I post my art. Now, I'm not a good artist at all, but I'm proud of what I make. I get a lot of hate comments on my art, and almost all the feedback to it was negative.
Damn.
I fucking hate that.
Jesus. TikTok sucks sometimes.
My God. So one day, my sisters and I went to visit my uncle, and all my cousins were there. My other uncle lives next door to this uncle, so I left to go greet him, and my cousins and sisters stayed. After an hour, I came back to where they were all hanging out. I entered the living room, and all 12 of them were on their phones, and it was silent. I sat down and tried to make conversation, but no one was answering me and just are on their phones. Then they look at each other, giggling and smiling. I ignored them and opened my phone and entered TikTok so that I can scroll aimlessly. But I get startled by the amount of notifications I got. I checked them out to see that my account was absolutely showered with positive comments.
Hell
And
yeah.
they were all from familiar accounts that belong to my sisters and cousins. I look up towards them in shock. Then they start laughing at my shocked face. Turns out that while I was gone, one of my cousins saw my video on her For You page and recognized that it was my artwork since she saw it before. They saw that I wasn't getting good comments. She got mad and sent my account to everyone in the room to hype me up. I was literally about to cry my eyes out because that was so sweet of them. Just want to say that I love them so much. I love them to death.
Hell yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome. I mean, I will say, as some like, okay, so I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but multiple times during like a family get together, like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter, I'll go home and I have to re-explain what I do to my grandparents. And so, every time I explain like, oh, like we do a podcast where we read Reddit stories. What's Reddit? Reddit is a website
What's
that
a podcast?
has stories on it that we react to, kind of thing. That's the base knowledge that I give them. And then they're always like, oh, what's it called? And I go, Reddit on Wiki. And they're like, how do you spell that? And I have to spell it for them. And then in the middle of like, we're all together in the living room, she'll start playing the podcast out loud. And I'm like, no, please, God.
Please don't.
Because I've never sworn in front of my grandmother. And now she's listening to me be like, am I the asshole? And it's like, please,
Dicks,
dear God.
dicks.
Fuck them kids.
Exactly. And so it's an awkward 5 minutes of me having to listen to myself before I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's good enough. You can listen to that some other time. So I've been in that experience where everyone in the living room is consuming like content I have created and I am embarrassed by it, but I am also genuinely like, it's nice that they are interested in what I do. You know what I mean? And so I empathize with OP being like, that is so sweet and kind of them to go on TikTok and make those comments to, you know, support you and make your day.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. This story's absolutely not going to hit on TikTok. I'll tell you that. Way too
Oh,
wholesome.
absolutely not. Yeah,
Way
it's too wholesome. Yeah.
But in the middle of a Oops All Mad episode, I do appreciate it.
I do too. Yeah, I was getting frustrated there.
Okay, good. Because this next story is a doozy. So
Damn it. The white rage.
the white rage is gonna come back. And this one is from r/best of Redditor updates. And this one is cross-posted by Direct Midscore Caterpillar 77. So several updates because it is a Boru. The title: I stalked my husband for 2 years before I formally met him.
Okay. There was a TV show or movie like this, wasn't there? Forget. One of those rom-coms. But anyway.
Rom-com?
Was it the one? Was it with Beyonce? Was it obsessed? Not obsessed. Was
I
it?
can't remember, but I remember the scene where they were like, have you been stalking him? And she's like, no. Well, kind of. And it's like, okay, this is creepy. God, 2 years is
Who's
insane though. I honestly, I can't remember. I vaguely remember a blonde lady, so I don't know. But anyway, that's I shouldn't have made that reference if I didn't know where it came from, but I did it already, so too bad.
And let's be honest, I never remember any reference, brother, so I can empathize for you.
We're
with
there
that.
together. I'm a holiday brain right now, so
Dude, like, I don't know how fucking Sean does it. He just remembers every quote from every show. I'm like, I don't even remember what I watched 10
Because
minutes
there's
ago,
nothing
dude. So-
else in there, brother. That's it.
that and Tim Robinson quotes.
Exactly right.
Oh, you're gonna hate the deepfake that I just made for you.
Or
It's
he's gonna
coming
love it.
soon.
I hate
Or he's
all
gonna
the
love it. We'll
deepfakes. I hate all the
Good,
deepfakes
good.
that you've made of me.
Good. All right. So I, 24 female, married my husband, 28 male, about a year and a half ago. The first time I saw my husband, I was a freshman in high school and he was a freshman in college. So that's
Yeah, but it's the other way around, right?
it's the other
So
way
it's-
around, right? So
I don't know. Like he's not pursuing her, so I don't know. Nothing really wrong with it right now.
yeah. He was walking his dog at the park when he stopped to talk to my brother, 27 male, because they happened to go to high school together. That was the moment I became hooked. That same day, I found his Instagram, his family's social media, and also where he lived, as my brother offered to walk them home while I tagged along. When I got home that day, I knew I wanted him. But of course, I was only 14 while he was 18. So I came up with a plan. I found out his younger brother was only 1 year younger than me and would be attending my current high school. I figured that I had to befriend his younger brother by any means possible next year when he moves up as a freshman while I became a sophomore, and I did. It took around halfway of my junior year where we became best friends and he invited me over regularly to his house to hang out. This is where I was able to befriend my current husband's mom, and God did she love to talk about him. From her, I found out what college he goes to, his past girlfriends, what his elementary/middle school was, his favorite/least favorite foods, his pet peeve, what he likes, etc., etc.
Could you imagine being the brother who she's befriended, being like, "Hey, can you
Damn,
stop
I just
talking
got
about my
used."
brother?" I thought we were hanging out.
Eventually, when my visits started getting more and more frequent, I formally met current husband again. Current husband, I'll call him E, would come over every other week and stay for either Friday, Sunday, or Saturday to Sunday. On those days specifically, I would wear my cutest outfits to impress him and also joke around with him a lot. Eventually, I befriended him as well. A little background on E. He's a school record holder for a certain sport in my school, which I just so happened to do. And around halfway through my senior year, E came back during a season to help coach the current high school athletes, which included me, in order to get some more volunteer work hours in, and I got to spend a lot more time with him. I loved every second of it. We were friends before, but then we became much closer since I got to spend lots of extra time with him after school, where sometimes he would even drive me home since we lived relatively close. Fast forward to when I had to move away to New York City for college. E moved with me since he coincidentally got a job near my college. And they put, edit, I lied? It wasn't a coincidence. I found out he got a job offer and applied to a college nearby his workplace. Being each other's only friends in New State, we became incredibly close. We started dating when I was almost a sophomore year of college, and he proposed to me after I graduated. And we just got married almost a year ago. He knows absolutely nothing about how I truly know him and believes it is fate that brought us together through his younger brother. Lately, I have been debating on whether or not I should tell him, or at least his younger brother, the truth, since the only reason I befriended him was to get closer to E. And Josh is like, God damn, what the fuck? The brother is just like, I thought we were hanging out.
Crazy.
I feel guilty every time he tells others our love story because the truth is, I've known him for 10 years while he's only known me for about 7. An update. I read a reply saying that the best thing for myself is to keep it a secret, which is what a lot of people are saying. But the best thing for him is to tell him. And I figured that person really is right. I will be telling him this Tuesday on his day off. He deserves to know who he is married or who he married.
Okay. So I will say this. I mean, she was a kid when this all started. Hard to blame a kid for wanting to, like, seeing someone they're attracted to and being like there's worse stories we've heard of. Remember that husband who completely like would fake being Tinder dates and then blow her off.
Ooh.
And then hired guys to like go on dates with her
Reject
and then
her?
act shitty to her so that he would get her. Like that's way worse in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
But manipulating every scenario though.
I would say every scenario though, right? Like the
But,
track
like,
thing
moving to
happened
New
to be the New York thing for sure. But like the track thing was a spontaneous thing that just happened. They have a common interest, unless she just joined that because he was in it. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like she might have did though.
For me, the shittiest thing she did was befriend the brother just to get with him, obviously. But like, I don't know. Beyond that, this is not the worst thing I've ever heard. Yeah, does that make sense?
Sean, your face was saying a lot, brother.
She's 14 when this started. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, but it's been many years since then that she could have fucking been like, is this crazy?
The truth?
Look, I'll agree.
Sure,
there have
sure.
been.
I'll agree. The truth definitely needs to come out.
Yeah. Worse people? Of course. We've dealt with actual people that have questioned if they are Satan themselves.
Yes.
But
that's my bar, I guess, which is troubling, perhaps.
Yeah, but I mean, it definitely is like, look, having a crush is totally normal, totally fine, especially, like older people. you're like, wow, they're grown. They're so hot. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But being like, all right, next year, I'm going to befriend this person. All right. We've been friends for a year and a half. I am now the best friend. I have manipulated my way up to the best friend. I
It's
will be
calculated.
out there. It's just like, okay, having a crush is fine, you know. And then, you know, if coincidences happened up until that point, that's cool. That's fine. But just every single step being so meticulously planned. It's not terrible, but definitely kind of icky. This is something that comes out maybe like as soon as y'all are engaged, actually. Maybe be like, okay, before
Even
we get
before that.
married, hopefully even before
I'd say
that,
when you start,
talking about getting engaged.
when you start getting together, it's like, hey, you know, when I was 14, I befriended your brother because I wanted to get closer to you. Like, if that's where that stops, it's like,
Also
okay,
apply
you know
to a
what?
school next to the place where you got your
I
job.
know,
but
offer.
that's like,
I also befriended your mom and knew every single detail about your life.
Yeah.
Again,
I
these are
also
all when she
fucking
was
joined
14,
track.
15. Did she only do track because of him?
It just adds
I'm
up.
assuming.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It just adds up. It
Fair
makes
enough.
sense.
It's not terrible, but it's definitely icky. And I feel like this,
Yeah.
this will lead to her murdering him, I think.
This is the
It's
rom-com.
like if no one can have him, if I can't have him, no one can.
Well, I mean, she didn't go to that extreme, to be fair.
Yeah, once
But,
he's like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I think we should maybe take a break. And then that's when he gets murdered.
maybe this is a rom-com if you put the right track behind it, and it's a horror movie if you put the wrong track behind it.
For sure.
And I think that's the perspective we all have on it. Is, you know, it just depends on how you look at it.
For sure.
And
It's just
you
a
know,
lot of meticulous planning for me.
I agree. It is weird.
It's
I
not
just think for
the
half
worst
of it, she was a
thing.
child.
Yeah, but the moving to New York, you know, going to that specific college. I mean, I guess when you're 18, 17, you're still a child.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think you should tell them for sure just to air it out. But I don't think, I think keeping the secret is the worst part right now.
All right. You guys ready for the updates?
Oh,
Do it.
So they updated July 6, 2023. The first story was actually, and I forgot to mention this, the first story was first posted on June 30th, 2023. So a couple days later. I told him this 4th of July. After the fireworks mostly ended and we were heading back, I asked him in a car, wouldn't it have been weird if we met each other before the first time we actually met, but we just didn't think of each other as significant at the time? He smiled and turned to me saying, that's impossible. There's no universe where we would have met and I would not think of you as significant. That struck me in the heart because I knew I would soon prove that sentence very wrong.
Yeah, but
I could
also, like, he was 18 and you were 14. He wouldn't look at you in a romantic way. I would hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So good
At
on
least
him.
At least this guy follows a Sean rule, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I continued on with my plan anyway. What if I told you we have met each other before? Before that time, I was introduced as E's little brother's friend. He looked at me like I was crazy. So that's when I pulled over on the side of the road and pulled out my phone to show him the post I put up here before. That explained everything. So she showed him the whole last Reddit story, bro.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty here, at least at this point. So good.
He took about 8 minutes to read the whole thing, and when he finished, he put the phone down and stared straight ahead, almost like he was dumbfounded, scared, and confused all at the same time. I started throwing out every excuse and apology I could muster at the moment for about 15 minutes straight when he decided to tell me to stop, and I did. Then he just sat there and sobbed uncontrollably for about 10 minutes before he finally asked me how much of our relationship and how much of my identity was fabricated according to his liking. I told him the honest truth. None of my personality or identity was fabricated for him, except for the fact of how we met. The only thing I ever changed about myself to make him like me more was lying about liking Chinese food. I hate Chinese food. Why? Are you racist? But other than that, everything else was real. Although my friendship with his younger brother was built upon ill intentions, my friendship between his brother and I are now one of the most genuine friendships I have now. He just cried and told me that he does not want to divorce at all, but he does want us to have some time apart so that he could absorb the truth that I gave him. He also said that he expects me to tell his brother and his mom this Friday because they deserve to know the truth just as much as he did. I told him okay, and we drove about the rest of the ride home in silence. When we got home, he hugged me and cried for about 5 minutes before he got out the car, packed his stuff, and said that he will be staying at a nearby hotel for now. He said that he knows that he still loves me, but does not yet know how to react to the fact that the beginning of our relationship was very, very orchestrated. To sum it all up, I guess telling him was a success? I honestly don't know. He sent me a good night and I love you text last night while he was out at the hotel. So I guess he's not as mad as he may have been betrayed. Update 2. Woke up this morning to find out that hubby not only lied about going to a hotel to stay at, but also lied about not wanting a divorce. He went to his family's home, not a fucking hotel, told them the entire story himself, probably exaggerated too to make me seem crazy. His whole family wants nothing to do with me too, claims I'm psycho. He said that he lied about going to a hotel because he knew if he told the truth, I would try to stop him. Honestly, I feel so betrayed. I tried to be a good wife by showing him the true me, and this is what he does? I did all this work just for it to end up like this? Honestly, I kind of deserve it. I didn't even tell him in the first place because I felt bad. And I told him because I had suspicion that he was catching on to the fact that I knew him for 2.5 years before he knew me, largely because I found out he was keeping my old phone in his work desk. My old phone that has screenshots of a lot of his old Instagram posts, plans in my notes app about him. So I guess he never truly loved me if he can't even get past an honest confession like this one. I might update this in a few years when I find a new husband. LOL.
Oh God. Okay, that was sinister at the end. Yeah,
I knew she's gonna murder him.
Yeah, I was wrong. I think, like especially with the phone, with the screenshots and the planning, like that's over the top for sure. It's one thing to try and meet with someone because you're interested in them. It's another to meticulously plan everything. I think I've converted over based on that.
Yeah. Again, not the worst person we've ever dealt with, but also a lot of it is icky.
And like I keep saying, most of it when she was, a child, but that changes once you start getting in a relationship. You should be honest and be like, hey, your brother, I actually am truly friends with him, but I did start becoming friends with him so that I could get closer to you. Like at that point, it doesn't sound weird. It's like, hey, I have orchestrated this whole relationship. Sounds kind of creepy and disgusting. So yeah,
I would feel absolutely betrayed if I was that husband. I'm like, 100%. Wow, is everything just a master plan to you? Like, am I just a game at this point?
A means to an end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be pretty creeped out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This is true crime. and the last sentence, like, I'll update this in a few years when I find a new husband. What are you gonna do to him?
No. When I find a new hubby, LOL is crazy to end that. That is psychotic. I'm scared of you.
Told you.
Dude, and the fact that the husband reacted that way to the point that's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm just going to a hotel. He's like, nah, fuck that, I'm going home. So there's strength in numbers over here. Because she knew she was probably watching his ass in the hotel mirror like, are you fucking really staying here?
Yeah. For me, it's the comparative is, you remember that older guy who was friends with OP's brother? And they were like, oh, who's going to sleep with his little sister or whatever? And then ended up being OP's husband. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And then she's like, I'm going to stay with him anyway. And we were like, no, don't. It's like, this is kind of a similar scenario where, it's gross. And I think if it was, gender reversed, we'd be like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So
it was age reversed for sure.
That too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. Weird. Not the worst we've heard, but weird for sure.
Weird for sure. All right. Well, I told y'all that was there's a lot of turns on that one, but we'll cut to a quick ad break and we'll get to our last segment of the show and then we'll close it off. And we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I know the amazing Underbaki, whose real name is Alex, people. Okay, so her name is Alex Underbaki. She usually has
distractions
Weird Distractions
potentially a new podcast soon.
Be on the lookout.
Maybe.
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout. We'll probably have her guest so that she could plug the show.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
For listeners too. So usually she has a get to know your host scheduled for this week, but we're recording on a holiday week, so she needs a break. So we're gonna come up with the questions for this time around. So 3 questions to kind of get to know the host. So of course I pick a little deeper, not really too deep of questions, but it's kind of just get to know us. So we're people too behind the scenes. Okay. So first question I want to ask you boys, and both of you can answer this and I'll answer last. What's your favorite way to relax and unwind after a long day?
Ooh, a great question. I mean, doom scrolling on TikTok is one. But if I'm being honest, like Sienna and I will watch TV at the end of the day, just relax. And then I will play some video games with some friends. I don't know if that helps me unwind because
You get riled up.
yeah, usually rounds
Control
me
the rage, Josh. It's 2024.
up. Yeah. But no, yeah, video games or board games, hanging out with Sienna. Those are kind of my de-stressors.
Yeah, similar. Just being around Nancy. Doesn't matter if she's working and I'm not, or if she's watching TV and I'm just in the area. Just spending time is good. Also cuddling cats.
Yes.
Besides that, yeah, I don't know. Watching wrestling, TikToks.
Yes.
See, what I would say watching hockey, but that does not de-stress me at all.
Oh yeah, I officially gave up on the Chargers because they just stressed me out and they've been trash this whole year.
Hey,
But
new
pretty much the
coach,
same.
though, and GM coming.
Oh, come on, let's go, Bill Belichick. But kind of the same way as you boys. Love just being around like Juliet. The rare times that I do see her, because this girl is working 24/7, and she's also going back to school. So I'm like, how the fuck do you have time for anything? But lately we've just kind of been just, hanging out on the couch. She's reading her book. I'm playing video games. Usually play 2K. And then the dogs are with us. Kevin just watches intently, and Chloe is snoring. So that's what I consider like best way to unwind.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, next question. What fictional character do you most identify with?
Oh, this is such a loaded question. I have no idea.
I have no clue either.
I can go first, so you guys can have some time to think.
Sure.
I'm going with Squidward. So
Okay. I like that
Yeah.
answer.
I could see it, like Squidward, kind of grouchy all the time. I don't understand why SpongeBob is so goddamn happy 24/7 in this economy, in this state of the world. I wouldn't be happy either. Fucking SpongeBob goes to work all happy and shit, and Squidward's all bitter. That's me. I hate being at my fucking job. You know what I mean? And then like when I go home, I don't want my neighbors making all these ruckus and all. I sound like an old man right now.
You're sure, man.
These damn children making all these ruckus. Leave me alone. He wants to play his clarinet. I just want to be home and do nothing. Leave me alone.
That's
so
funny.
Squidward, I get you.
Oh, man.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead, Sean, if you've got someone. I don't know if I'll be able to pull someone out.
Probably a pretty influential character for me is probably like JD from Scrubs. Always
Can I be your chick?
optimistic. JD from Scrubs, if he was much less of a man whore. He's very optimistic usually, and then also he's doesn't really care what people think about his personality. I kind of live similarly, where I don't really give a shit. I pride myself on never trying too hard to make people like me.
I like that.
Yeah, because like whenever I used to dance, like it's just like a big thing to be like cool, and I was very much like, I'm not that. I'm not.
But you're
that.
cool as fuck though, Sean.
Yeah, you
That's
are.
why the
Not
Wicked
in
Maniacs
the-
love you.
in the dance thing. It's like cool to be like stoic and like this is hip hop.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? And that's not me.
You fucking hipster.
That's funny. Well, this one's on my mind because we were at my in-laws for the last few days and they are rewatching Game of Thrones. And I want to say Jon Snow because he's up in the north with a beard.
Oh yeah.
That's
Okay.
all I can think of right
you
now.
you can look like him if you just put a cloak and a
I
big
could not
ass
look
sword.
like Kit.
You can pull it off,
He's
brother.
way too good looking.
You good
pull it
looking
off.
motherfucker too. What you mean? You can pull it
No.
off. Dye your hair black, low key. you could pull it
I'd have to grow it out way longer.
off. Wear a wig, low key, bro, but you could pull it off.
You're probably taller than him,
but-
though.
I'm gonna make Game of Thrones videos of you now.
Can't wait.
All right. Next question. This is like the deeper question. What was the best thing about how your parents raised you?
Ooh. My parents did, I think, a genuinely good job. But I'd say the best thing was they taught me to, work for everything I get. My parents are very self-made people. They taught me that having your own skills and working hard for things that you want will feel better. And as someone who has worked very hard with this podcast with you guys,
You
I gotta say,
goddamn right, you
it
work
does-
hard, brother.
It does feel good to finally see success come out of the hard work, which is awesome. So I'd say that's probably one of the biggest things.
Hard work is good as well. My parents are also self-made, immigrant parents. If you know that story, you know that story. And also, like, just a lot of stuff that they did when I was a kid that I was like, this fucking sucks. I'm very appreciative of it now as an adult. I feel like I was raised not like extremely Asian, stereotypically tough, but pretty tough. And my sisters had it even tougher because I'm the youngest and I'm a boy.
You're
But
the
boy,
favorite.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the sternness and stuff is, I would say, maybe plays in parts with some of like just my own like work ethic or my own like, I don't know, morals also, things like that. I feel like, a lot of that as a kid sucks ass, but looking back, I'm like,
Growing
I
up,
wouldn't
yeah.
be who I am without some of that.
That's awesome, man. I think one of the best thing that I think my parents taught me was be unapologetically me.
And you are that.
Thank you. Thank you. I had a hard upbringing, like growing up, childhood, like not the best like upbringing in terms of like my environment and just how things were. So they gave me the opportunity just to be like, hey, just be you. I know like the environment is what you're dealing with right now is not the best. However, just be yourself as much as possible. Don't apologize for being true to you, right? So like they let me make mistakes, they let me be accountable to it, but they raised me in a way where it's just like, here are the values that we taught you. We trust you enough to make the right decisions, and we trust you to, be empathetic to people, and also like, but be you at the end of the day. So I think I took that a lot growing up too, and I appreciate it a lot more now because I can be who I am without any regrets, and they empowered that about me. So I'm an only child, so they could have been very strict, say you can't do this, you can't do that. But no, they're just like, if you make a mistake, you better own up to it. And if there's a problem, you better come up with a solution. So that's always how my outlook have been. And I appreciate that they taught me those values growing up.
Hell yeah.
Well, that is it for today's episode. But before we close off, any reviews, comments, Venmo shout outs that you guys have that you want to cover?
I have got a few reviews here. You guys want to hear them?
Oh, yes, please.
All right. So I picked ones that you guys would enjoy for very obvious reasons. You'll see why. This one, first one is from Camille, and it's 5 stars, says, my favorite podcast. I've been listening
you.
for a few months now since finding the podcast on TikTok. I just caught up completely from episode 0.
God.
No judgment here about the earlier episodes. They were still finding their niche. Very true. Thank you.
That's the
Hey,
kindest way
we
to be like,
appreciate-
that shit sucked.
Yeah, yes.
That shit was ass, brother. What a kind way.
Sean,
Didn't you post a story about your friend?
Yeah, he was like,
listening?
starting on episode 0. I was like, don't.
Please don't.
And I was like, it's much different like 7-8 months after that. You could start there.
Yeah, pretty much. Camille goes on to say, Sean, Josh, and John have kept me entertained and awake during my night shifts and drive to and from vendors at work. I thoroughly enjoy this podcast, even when serious topics are presented. Sean is my favorite.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
And then we got another one here from Caitlin. Says, oh, it's 5-star and says, John the GOAT.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Reddit on Wiki. I started listening to the podcast around February 2023. I just wanted to say thank you for being there to keep me awake throughout my many long nights during school. I was able to get a job as a graphic designer, and now I get to listen to Patreon while I work.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
There was an episode a while back where John talked about his military background. It really resonated with me, being Filipino with a father in the military who also struggled with substance abuse. It is hard, and years later, I'm still dealing with the anxiety that plagued me as a kid. To John, I just wanted to express how impactful and inspiring your vulnerability is. I struggle with having a less cynical and bitter view of people and the world too, and I'm glad this podcast has helped you have a more hopeful outlook. I don't know if it has.
It hasn't. And my liver is not thanking me for it.
Yeah. Also to the team, the live stream meetup was totally worth it and amazing and entertaining. Please don't be hard on yourself. Thank you. Lots of love from San Diego. And then they do
my hometown.
Your hometown,
Even
John.
better. I'll be back. Don't worry.
So thank you very much, Caitlin, for that lovely
Thank you,
message to
Caitlin.
John. I thought he would enjoy that. And this last one here, I believe, John, you've shared this one on our Instagram, but I just wanted to read it over the podcast.
Yeah, share it again.
Posted by Grace, and it says 5 stars. I'm a new mom to a 4-month-old that hated car rides. I'm talking crying the whole time, no matter what I did. My postpartum anxiety and my baby's nonstop crying made driving really difficult. And my therapist suggested playing something that would help me focus on driving. I put this podcast on one time after she recommended it, and my baby loved it.
Wait,
She stopped crying.
who recommended
and eventually, the therapist, I think.
A therapist recommended.
Yo, what? That's crazy.
She stopped crying and was eventually able to fall asleep. I don't know if it was the lower voices or the laughter, but car rides are so much easier now. Thank you, John, Josh, and Sean, for making this amazing podcast. So
Thank you to the therapist.
thank you to
and
the therapist
to
that
you for
supported
listening.
us.
and for the baby
You know,
for
like,
making
you know
your
how
mom
they-
support us.
You know how there's always those commercials like toothpaste, like recommended by dentists, like Reddit on Wiki, recommended by therapist.
We can legitimately say that now. It's a fact.
We can now.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're actually recommended by 1-in-1 therapists.
Oh, I was going to say probably 1 in 10, you know, for
1
being
in 10,
honest with
yeah.
ourselves.
Oh shit.
But yeah, thank you, Grace, for that amazing review. That's got to be one of my favorites for sure.
That was beautiful for sure. Sean, you have any?
I will be reading the Venmos next week, but they were plentiful. So thank you guys so much for that.
All right, we'll save that for next week then.
Yeah. And I got to shamelessly plug Shots and Thoughts is back.
Hey.
Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central.
New format. Sean,
Yeah.
New format.
And shorter
Mhm.
episodes. We're aiming for like 30 to 40 minutes each. Episode 2 has already broken that rule. It's 50 minutes. But episode 3, we're right back on track. 35 minutes.
I gotta say, my favorite segment was the one Chris
Was it
presented.
Chris's Psycho?
Fucking
Guess that sack?
Sacking the
Guess that
QB.
Guess that sack is an insane game.
How?
Dude, that's gotta be that's one of the best segments I've ever heard of. It's so fucking funny. Not only is it a great title, it is a great premise, and it is just unhinged. So go check it out.
How could you even?
You can't. You can't fucking win. He chose an unwinnable game. Infuriating.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Oh shit. Anything else, Sean? You good?
No, that's it. Just want to say I'm happy to be back. And yeah, thank you again to all the Wikimaniacs for doing all that y'all do for us.
Oh, what's your
Yeah.
resolutions? We should have done that
Ooh.
as a question.
Oh yeah, huh? We should have.
My resolution is to turn 10% of our Reddit into patrons. That is
Ooh.
my
That's
Resolution
a
slash
bold
goal.
resolution, Sean.
That's gonna be hard.
10%.
That's funny. My resolution is get all the wedding plans figured out soon and finalized, and then learn how to dance. That's one of
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
and look good in a suit. I gotta do
Easy.
Some more.
Done.
Brother,
That one. Check that
I'm
one off,
done.
brother.
Done.
no
Fucking Kit Harrington looking ass over here. You
I
need
ate
to
so
chill,
much food over the holidays. I need
bro.
And I bet
Correct
you
that.
John and I's BMI is still 10% higher than yours, brother. You are fine. And also,
I bet you
mine.
You know what I'm talking about? Looking like a snack over there. But
Goddamn.
my New Year's resolution, guys, I kind of broke mine. I wanted to pay off my car by like middle of June this year, but I was able to pay it off. So
Hey.
my
Oh,
resolution is
shit.
done. Pay off my car, baby. Now I
Hell
gotta
yeah.
save
Beat it
for
by
a fucking down payment.
That's 6 months. You beat it 6 months
Yeah.
in advance.
That's crazy.
Well, it was
Shit.
supposed to be done end of December next year, but I was like, let's do it a whole year.
Power
Fuck
through.
it.
Yeah,
My
I like
God.
Oh yeah, but I do have a few that I wanted to read out. This one was messaged to us by Elena Lynn, and they just messaged, I listen to you every day on my way to and from work. It keeps me going, listening to you sometimes, even when I'm going to bed to help me sleep. Thank you for everything. I wish I could be a patron or support you otherwise, but I'm a broke-ass college student. We get it.
That's
We
fine.
sympathize.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and they put also, hi Josh, I'm from Ottawa too. Also laughing my ass off. Sean, you sound exactly like my ex-boyfriend.
Well, it definitely wasn't Sean.
It
Wasn't
wasn't
me.
Sean, because Sean is a wholesome guy.
I've never
So,
been to Ottawa.
Yeah, shout out to Ottawa. Hell yeah.
And then I know Sean has some Venmo stuff that he wanted to read next episode, but we've been getting some tips from Linktree.
Yes.
It's been a while
Sheesh.
since we saw that. Unfortunately, we don't see the name of who sends it, and it's only like the email address that was sent out to. So I'll read like part of the email, but I'm not gonna dox you guys and like put the whole email address there. So this one came from the Science Girl. They gave $6.01. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they put, love you three and your beautiful smart ladies. If y'all have time to come to the best restaurant in Houston, I'm a bartender at Casa do Brazil. So shout out to, I wonder if this was Serena. If this is Serena, hello, hi. Can't believe you drove that fast to see us. That was,
Yeah, we
So
saw you at our
kind.
meetup. That was awesome.
I damn near cried when you said like you hauled ass from your break. That was fucking awesome. So thank you. We appreciate it. If this isn't you, apologies.
And you have
for
a
the
coworker
mix-up,
that
but
is
next
also a
time-
big fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if it was
Yes.
you, thank you for the cheesecake and the, what were those, the balls called?
Oh, just the cheese bread?
Yeah.
cheese-
the-
Brazilian
oh
cheesy
my
bread?
gosh.
oh, they were fucking amazing.
Fantastic.
My God. And this one is from DS Jackson, and they gave a whopping $50.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Holy.
Thank you.
Yes. And the message has been meaning to send this for a while. I love listening to you guys. Keep up the good work. So thank you, DS Jackson. Apologies it took us so long to read it. We didn't expect to get anything from Linktree. So
Yeah, usually
I
goes to
didn't- I
Sean.
didn't-
So.
I didn't even know that was an option. So
Yeah, and let it
There
be
you
the
go,
last
Wikipedia.
time that you guys donate to Linktree. Actually, there's a correct way to do this, and this isn't.
and what's the way again, Sean?
Venmo at SEANSNTPOD.
There you go. Talk to
Wow.
him.
I saw somebody post on the subreddit. The title was Sean with Venmos, and then it's Bernie Sanders with a gun. He says, "I'm no longer asking." Oh.
We gotta share that.
That's accurate.
Man, but that is it for this week. And of course, as usual, if you like what we do, consider leaving a review. We love reading them. If you want to leave one on Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, you can't
Venmo.
really leave a review. Spotify or Venmo, or you can go to our website, redditonwiki.com. There's a review section there if you would like to leave one. Or if you want to get more content, consider being a patron. The trial come and gone. If you checked it out, hopefully you stuck it out with us. You get exclusive access to bonus stories, bonus episodes. You see me drink the Dasani and almost cried. But really, the
great.
cheapest. It was disgusting. Really, the cheapest way to support us: share our stories with your friends and family. Tag us on your posts on Instagram, TikTok, or X, or whatever the fuck it's called now. But really, the best way to for people to discover us is through word of mouth. But other than that, we'll see you this Friday for another Am I the Asshole episode. But till then, love ya. Toodles.
Bye.
Later.
Get therapy.